What is up, YouTube? What is up, YouTube? This is your boy Junes88, bringing the good, bad, and oh so ugly. But this ain't like the show about nothing. This is something totally different. This is something I'm gonna be bringing a lot of the wrestling buddies you've seen from Beer with the Boys on the show. We have a one-on-one conversation, uh, barroom, barbershop talk style conversation about different wrestling topics. And today we're talking about, was Lucha Underground ahead of its time? This topic popped into my head because we've talked about it in our group chat a few times and just random topics we've all had. So I'm bringing in my boy, the underboss of the Bullet Club. Get it for my homie. He came in. Reigns. He's actually a wrestler too, so he knows the ins and outs of the business. AJ Styles. It's gonna be that kind of show today, bro.
I had to do it once. So I got the hoodie on. I have a big ass hoodie on, so it works out perfectly.
This dude apartment is crazy. He's got the grill on the outside. You still stay in the same spot?
Nah, man, I moved from there, bro.
Damn,
and they got super expensive, bro. That shit got
super expensive. It did. It looked expensive.
No, all right. So when I first got there, it was $1,500.
Good Lord.
Cool. I'm cool with that. $1,500 ain't bad. I'm cool with that. Because how they have the payment set up, you can put something in the account so you can knock it down. So now you just pay at one time. So I get paid every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks I can just put something in there and then boom, you're good.
Right.
But then it went up to like 2,000.
Oh hell no.
No, my bad. Let me rephrase that. It went up to 1,800 first. Then probably like the year after that, it went up to 2,100. And I was like, yeah, I'm done. Nope.
It's been nice. It's been nice. Y'all be good. Praise God, I'm out of here.
But yeah, exactly.
Tell about yourself, man, before we get into today's topic. Tell them about what you got going on and everything.
Man, well, as Junes, the captain of the Bullet Club, let y'all know, I am a professional wrestler myself. I have been training for some years. I also have a wrestling podcast with my tag partner, Shamal.
Shout out to it.
It's called the Icon Pro Wrestling Podcast. It's on Spotify. Wherever you get your podcast at, go check it out. I dance as well. I'm going to California next week for a battle and everything like that. Overhyped. Nah, corner session. Nah. I won't be at the corner session. I ain't battling there. I'm battling the day before that.
All right.
But that's the little things about me from Mississippi, from Dirty South kid, live in North Carolina now. And I've been watching wrestling since like the age of 3 because of my grandmother.
That's how it always, man. That's
like, bro, watching like the AWAs, the WCCWs, all that, the Chief J Strongbos, all that, man. That.
I got into wrestling 97, like it was a tail end of that cartoony stuff going to the Attitude Era.
Oh yeah, you came at the right moment for you.
Because my boy Dario put me on, like, cause typical. My mom was walking up to the school to come get me. She met his mom, and she like, long story short, like, yo, I'm from Mississippi. Oh, I'm from Mississippi. I'm from Port Gibson. My mom, I'm from Yazoo. And the rest is his. My mom was like, yo, we going over such and such house this weekend tomorrow. Like,
man, I haven't heard those names in years.
Yeah, and like that's how people got cool back then. You from Mississippi?
Oh yeah. Oh, man, you know about such and such and such and such. Man, that's my people.
So, and the funny thing about it is, I never seen this kid. Like, I never seen him or heard from him. I never we go to the same school, but he like a grade behind me. So, I never heard of him, seen him. All right, cool, whatever. Like, whatever. Go to somebody's house, kick it. I was like, he like turn on wrestling. Like, what is this? Like, this is wrestling. Oh, okay. I think like the first person I saw was Shawn Michaels. Before that, a year before, I remember Undertaker was cutting a promo in the locker room, and he was talking about the whole thing with his parents. I'm like, I didn't know what it was.
You came in when he was feuding with Kane.
No, I came in. I was already in before Kane. I was already in. But
no, I mean the promo. That promo.
I saw that promo, but I didn't know what it was. So I'm like, oh, whatever. I don't know what this is. Never saw wrestling a day in my life, but then when I got hooked, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's very addicting, man. I can say that. If
At a
you get
young age,
hooked on
we
it,
should not have
you
been
are
watching
hooked.
it.
Like you get hooked, you get hooked.
I know, right? Attitude Era wasn't for us. We shouldn't have been watching that.
It should have been. It wasn't for us. It's like GTA. It wasn't. It's not
It
meant
was.
for us. But
If
we got
I
hooked on
had
it
kids,
anyway.
I wouldn't let them watch the Attitude Era. Like, I don't know.
Nah, I let them watch it. I let them,
I
if they
mean,
want to, like, for me, for stuff like that, if you really want to watch wrestling, you have to show them like the iconic moments so you can understand why people love it.
yep.
You have to.
You gotta watch this with me. I can't let you watch this.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like you gonna watch it with me, but I'm gonna let you watch it. Like
Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna let you watch when Undertakers start sacrificing people. I'm gonna show you why I like the Undertaker the way I do. Because of this. I'm gonna show you why everybody consider Shawn Michaels the greatest. This is why. And I'm start like pieces, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Boom. Like the King of the Ring. Austin 316 just said, I just whipped your ass. You have to watch that to get understand the
Got
attitude.
you gotta know your history in this game.
Yeah.
And speaking of history in the game, let's go right to the topic. First of all, do you think Lucha Underground was ahead of his time?
Yes, definitely. And I say that because of this. They, at the time when Lucha Underground came in, the cinematic style promos and like tight backstage segments wasn't being done.
Right.
If you look anywhere at that time, they wasn't being done. TNA wasn't doing it. Japan wasn't doing it. WWE wasn't doing it. The Indies wasn't doing it. They took it and made it something into where it was like a movie in a sense. Like every time you seen Dario Creto come in, it's always a scene.
Yes.
It was always like something.
Yeah.
It was dramatic as hell because leading up to where Matanza came in, it was a build up, but you was like, oh, what is happening? Like, it caught your attention.
Yep.
And that's one thing I can say about Lucha Underground. They knew how to catch people's attention
Yeah.
with the wrestling and ring ability of all the Lucha stars, but then you have to have something outside of that for people to say because the wrestling itself, it's not gonna get everybody all the time. It's be honest with you, in lucha type wrestling, everybody can do the same kind of moves. Everybody has almost the same kind of abilities.
Oh yeah.
So that kind of gets repetitive week after week after week after week, match after match.
Yep.
Is it exciting? Yes.
Very.
But it's gonna get repetitive after a while. So they took it up a notch. They gave everybody like an actual story. Like they took storylines and made it into like mini movies in a
Dude,
sense.
storyline ain't even a word. Like I remember when I first saw Lucha Underground, I'm like, I made fun of them. Like, bro, what is it? Like, why does this TV show? Why does Rest have credit in credit? Like, what is they rolling? I'm like, I was clowning it, and then like, this reminds me of that trash they did with Wrestling Society X. Tried to do wrestling, and that was garbage. I'm like, I'm looking at this like this is kind of garbage, but the live crowd. But then when you get into it, like, yo,
It's not.
you understand where they're going for. I told my boy, our boy Drew, I'm like, bro, when it reminds me of like if Def Jam was an actual like a TV show, like you got the back like a Mexican soap opera, like you got the backstory, then you got okay, we gonna settle this in the ring. So once I said the ring, like, oh, this is not bad. Then once you watch it, you like because Lucha Underground was like around for 5 years. The last episode was 2018. It's like once you get into watching it, it's like, yo, this is really good. Like this is like actually really good. Like then you like now you get to now you pick this, now you start to miss it. But I don't because the temple and everything they had was the the crowd, even though some of those people probably paid actors or people that were real wrestling fans, they made you feel like
it was something special.
Yeah, everything like, and let's be real, you really can't fake awe like when Johnny Mundo flipped off the goddamn
the office built
office.
Yeah, like some of the things like you've seen happen, you can't like old, like no, like this was actual reactions to this.
Yeah.
Like what's his name? He teamed with Jack Evans, Angelico.
Yeah.
But he ran and jumped off like the very top balcony into the ring. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
It's like in EO did it when she was a Black Lotus trial. Like, I know that had to hurt.
Yeah, and then one thing I also say is Lucha Underground gave us some of the wrestlers we know now back then, and people didn't realize it.
Yep. And I was like, Lucha Underground gave us, like you said, so many characters. I remember, and I say this because I think it's dope on one end, how it blew up the wrestling Twitter. Like when Sunny Kisses came in, everybody on Twitter was going nuts for.
Definitely.
I don't know pronouns. I think it's she. I'm not sure. Forgive me. I don't know Sunny's pronouns. But when Sunny popped up, everybody in WWE was, oh yeah. I'm like, y'all watch Lucha Underground?
Yeah, exactly. And that shows you what it really was. Like it was something special that everybody watched it.
Yeah.
And like as an avid wrestling fan and a performer, to be in the business, you have to watch everybody's product. Only because you can fit. Because like there's some things you may not do in your company, and that could be missing. That could be like a missing link to make your company bigger.
Yep. And I'm like, when I was looking at like,
I'm like, perfect example of this. Now how Lucha Underground was doing the cinematic stuff, right?
yep.
When did WWE start doing cinematics?
Right after with the Firefly, the Wyatt compound stuff.
And that was doing right before COVID hit. It really took off when COVID hit.
Yes, it did.
Why is that? They didn't have live crowds no more, so they needed something to keep people entertained.
Yep. And what I love about Lucha Underground, like going back to characters, you see characters that you never would have seen in America, like Dragon Azteca, Prince Puma, who else? What's the other guy?
Who?
Blue Demon. The dude with the mask, he had to jump.
that doesn't help anything.
No, big the stocky dude. He's in MLD. He fought Bronson Reed. He's in New Japan now with Will Ospreay. He wore the jumpsuit with the
he was Matanza?
Yeah.
Oh, Jeff Cobb.
He was there, like the character they had,
like I didn't know. Y'all told me this.
What?
I didn't know King Cuerno was Santos Escobar.
Me neither. Till I found I'm like, that's him.
Exactly. And but now you watch this, like you watch him perform in WWE now. You look back like, dang, that is him, because everything he did there, he does WWE.
Yep.
We knew Prince Puma was Ricochet because his tattoos. That's the only reason why.
Look, I did not know Killshot was Swerve Strickland. I did not know that till
and that's the thing I liked about it, because it gave you everybody's other characteristics. It gave people a chance to like create their own character and kind of stand out. Because in Lucha Underground, be honest with you, nobody really got lost. Because every character was like memorable in their own right.
Everybody was memorable. It was like it was insanely how everybody was like. I was thinking before we did the last night, I was thinking about what I want to say on the show. I'm like, if you think about, when I think about memorable matches, I think about the Black Lotus Tribe. I think about the Killshot versus
AR Fox. That was a banger.
My favorite match that I always post in the chat, the damn Vampiro versus Pentagon.
I knew you was gonna say it.
Those memorable match, like, gosh, y'all came up with all that.
And like, think about the story of that.
Pentagon trying to find his master. Like, nobody saw that coming.
Well, he wasn't trying to find his master. He was trying to pretty much please his master, in a sense. Because every time he brought somebody on, it was a sacrifice to his master. And what's crazy is that Baron Piro outside there at the announce table the whole time, and nobody knew who the master was but him.
And I remember the match. I watched so much with Matt Strokes. I don't know Vampiro. I know Ian, the man who had a neck fusion surgery, and like he was like, I know Ian, I don't know Vampiro. In the match, he was going. I'm like, yo, but somebody who had neck fusion surgery is Vampiro. I'm like, first, I'm like, yo, this match is gonna be dangerous. How you gonna pull this? I'm like, yo, please don't let this man get hurt.
Vampiro don't care though. That's the thing with Vampiro. He never cared from the time I caught Vampiro in WCW when he was feuding with Sting.
Yep, that was his biggest match.
The coffin match.
Yes.
And that's the first time of me watching Vampiro. But young Vampiro, he was a great talent.
Exactly. I looked at some of his old stuff like
Dude was nice.
Like,
Dude was nice.
He should have had a run in WWE. I'm surprised he never had a run.
I knew he was gonna make it WWE only because how WWE is structured.
Oh yeah.
Cause like you can't at that time, everybody it was Undertaker was like the main dark force. Then you have Kane, but then you also had Sting in WCW, so that's why everybody always wanted to see Sting and Undertaker.
Yep.
But Vampiro was like, I'm gonna make this comparison. It may be something people that may not like, but Vampiro was Sting's Kane in a sense.
Yeah. Agreed. And with Vampiro, like, just a Lucha Under Ground, I'm like, I just like, now that it's gone, I really do like, man, people like, yo, should it come back? Do you think it should come back for another season? Or should it like there's no room for that anymore right now? Like there's no more room for it. Like it's done.
I mean, it can come back, but I don't think it will have the same kind of effect. And that's only because all the people who made Lucha Underground what it was is in different companies now doing other things.
Yep.
So like you're not gonna get Prince Puma and Lucha Underground. Ricochet is in WWE now. Same thing with Santos Escobar. Same thing with Rey Mysterio. Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix, AEW.
I didn't even know they were brothers until they went to AEW. No, they was beating the crap out of each other.
They mentioned it in Lucha Underground.
I never caught that.
Vampiro was the one who said it. Vampiro brought it up. He was like, the two brothers always going at it or something like that. He said something along those lines, and I was like, oh shit.
I remember one time it wasn't in Lucha Underground where Phoenix did some sort of flip. He was on his shoulders and flipped off.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, these guys are insane.
Crazy with it.
Like,
But
the stuff they did in Lucha Underground was like unheard of.
And like those are the stars, like Phoenix, Pentagon, Prince Puma, King Colano. Those are like the higher ups. Matanza. Then you also gotta go to like the mid card people, like yeah, Jack Evans. But
Jack Evans.
But you had like Jack Evans and Helico, Ivelisse,
Sexy Star. But she's been banished to the Shadow Realm, so.
Well, first Sexy Star. The first
one. Yeah, the first one.
You also had Kill Shot. Sean
AR Fox. That story was like the story of that just went like they was both in the same
same unit in the military, and AR
was,
Fox left him out there to dry.
It's like, bro, y'all are.
And like Kill Shot was like a specialized killer. She was like the stuff was like the characters was dope. Like each character to me was dope. You had Son of Havoc. He was like a biker.
That's my guy, Son of Havoc. That's my guy.
Matt Cross, another great athlete.
Brian Cage and
but the Machine, that's when he really rose to like besides his PWG stuff, that's when he got caught on a national scale.
Willie Mack.
Same thing with him. His indie stuff, great. But he got noticed from Lucha Underground because he ended up going to Impact later on because of that.
No, like I said, Lucha Underground, one of them things, like when I look at it nowadays, like, man, people, it's like how they say you had to be there.
Yeah.
It's like you had to be there. You had to watch it because I feel like in some cases in wrestling, going back and rewatching it don't do it any justice because they
No.
edit stuff out, they edit crap. It's like when you're in, like I said, I don't care what anybody says. You could go back and watch Attitude Era stuff, but it's not gonna be the same as when you was watching it
Watching it live, yeah,
as a
because like
kid.
you
Like,
couldn't edit like that out at that time. You couldn't.
nothing you could edit out.
Whenever Stone Cold came out, and you knew some shit was about to happen, but the crowd, the pop of the crowd, every time Stone Cold came out there, bro, not too many people can do that now.
Nope. It's like in the reaction, like I said, how he said, even though the crowd was live, it's like it's like a studio audience, but like I said, you can't fake reactions.
No, you can't.
You can't fake like, oh, at this point he's gonna do this. I need y'all to go, ooh. Like, I don't think you can like
No, because then when you do something like that, now you really just orchestrating everything.
yeah.
Like you need some kind of the element. I hate when people say wrestling is fake. I hate that because if you're on the inside and you will understand like, okay, this shit is not fake. This shit is predetermined. Yes, but once you step inside that ring and do the moves and stuff, there's two rules. There's two rules of wrestling. Protect yourself, protect your partner, and your partner is the person you're working with.
And I don't think people understand. Like you said, it sucks because people are like, oh, that's so fake. I'm like, but Marvel movies are fake, DC movies are fake, Back to the Future is fake, like anime is fake.
Like, bro,
TV is fake.
ain't no way in the hell you about to see a dude stand in front of you who's like a skinny 180 pound, like a 110 man, and when he gets mad, he turns into like a 300, 400 pound, 7'8" monster.
Exactly.
Like you'll never see that. But
like,
people like, oh my god, this is amazing. Well, same thing with us, with wrestling fans.
But you know what's so hold on, you know what's so funny about people when they say wrestling's fake? It's how they do it. They look at you, they look around, they lean, like, you know it's fake, right? Like they telling you a secret.
Yeah, like
no. Wow. I did not know that.
As a kid, so and here's the thing: if it's a kid, you don't tell a kid that because a kid, they're there for what's the word I'm looking for? They're there for the spectacular. They want to see the oversized characters. They want to see the crazy moves. They want to see all that. For people of our age now, we went through that stage already. But now we're here for just the entertainment and the athletics of it.
Yep.
And the
I'm
story.
talking about the people who don't watch wrestling.
Yeah.
I like, you know it's fake. Oh, anime is fake too, but you watch that.
I'm like,
then they say they have nothing after you say that. Like,
they're like, oh no, that's different. How? Oh
you know
no, someone say like, hey, John Wick is fake, right?
Exactly.
They're like, but he's doing real shit. But he rehearsed that, didn't he? He had to learn how to do that stuff, right?
Exactly.
Same thing with wrestling. We have to learn how to take a bump. We got to learn how to hit the ropes. What to do when you do this move. What not to do when you do a move. Like, if you like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say this. When you do a suplex, you fall straight back. A vertical suplex, you fall straight back. The difference between a brain buster and a suplex, because it's the same motion. The only difference is you fall to your butt for a brain buster.
Right.
If you don't know how, if you say, hey, I'm gonna do a suplex, you gotta hold that person, and the person has to hold their weight too.
Right.
And this is where the rules come in. Protect yourself, protect your partner. The person getting lifted, you have to base yourself. If you ever watch wrestling and pay attention to when people do suplexes, look at what their hand placements are. They're not holding their hands there for no reason.
Yep.
Because the person lifting is just lifting. But he's there to hold you up. The person going up is the person doing all the work almost.
Yep.
But you don't want the person getting lifted don't want the person just to lift them because they can hurt their back, which in turn can involves some injuries, unfortunately. That's where knowing how to do it comes into play. That's where knowing how to do a brain buster comes into play. It's the what to do and what not to do. So when people say wrestling is fake, I'm like, it's not fake. Maybe rehearsed. We rehearse the moves, what we're going to do, yes. But the injuries and risk of doing this stuff is very, very real. That's why at the beginning of the old 90s pay-per-views, they're like, please don't try this at home. Leave it up to professionals because they're doing things like this, an injury, lead the injury. Is the reason why they say that.
Yep. So I guess my next question would be going back to what we were saying, what is one of your favorite? We already know my favorite. What's your favorite Lucha Underground match?
Okay, so I'm gonna say this: the Pentagon and Vampiro is one of my favorites too, because
I watch that match like once a year.
Because like the build up to that match was crazy. Like everything from when Pentagon started going, it wasn't Pentagon Junior. He was Pentagon Dark.
Yeah.
When he went down that road and started doing all the stuff he did, and then the twist comes into play that Vampiro is his master, and he wants now his final test is to face his master.
That was crazy.
That story is ridiculous. But another one of mine, Kill Shot of AL Fox. That was crazy. That match was retarded. Prince Puma and Rey Mysterio. That was a good one.
You know what? Pentagon Dark versus the Black Lotus Trap. He went through all of them.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
They beat the crap out of Pentagon.
They beat him, but he was just giving them no business. He just came out, bah!
He smacked the crap out of old girl, like
all three of them. He got like, damn.
Okay, I'm gonna ask as a professional wrestler.
Okay.
How do you feel about intergender matches?
It depends. It has to have a mean. I'm the type of person who I guess I'm kind of old school in this thought, and I'm cool with that. But everything has to have a purpose and a meaning.
Right.
You just throwing like a woman versus like a man in a match with no purpose or no meaning.
Right.
I don't like that. Now, if it's something like for example, when China had that match with Triple H and Stone Cold. No, Triple H and it was a triple threat match. Can't remember who the other person was.
Triple H.
It was China versus Triple H because it was a number one contendership.
I think it was it? Keep talking.
Was it Undertaker? Was it Undertaker? Can't remember who it was. I can't remember who the third man was. But Stone Cold and Triple H was in the feud. And he pretty much kind of made them turn on each other a little bit.
Yeah, it was Undertaker. It was Undertaker versus Triple H versus China.
Because I remember one of the promos for that Triple H was like, China shouldn't be in this match because she's a woman.
Right.
And China looked at him like, nigga, I'm your bodyguard. He's like, I'm your bodyguard. You see me beat up people. You see me beat up men. And she took the mic and was like, you know what? I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna beat his ass. I'm gonna be the first woman to be the world heavyweight title champion. That's kind of a purpose. That's meaning.
Yeah, and I feel like people be like, oh, intergender matches are so bad. It's weird when I see somebody like Bronson Reed and MLW fighting Red Velvet. Like, this is
Now, and this is where this comes into play. It has to make sense though. Like, remember, I'm
gonna give you one. We talked about this one: Leo Rush versus Kaden Carter.
Now, if you look at their body types and shit, everything they kind of like even out.
Yeah.
The only difference is Leo's more athletic.
In the story, like you said, he was like, hit me.
I'm not hitting you. He didn't want to do it.
He couldn't do it. So for like 2-3 minutes,
she was just smacking him around.
And he wouldn't do it until he finally broke, and that match went like, yo, this is
and the match went for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, and the match was great.
And went back and forth too. It's not like It was just one sided. Now I do have a problem with this. Is where I do have a problem with it. Remember that in the group chat you sent it was like your birth month you have the job to.
Oh yeah.
We had Rio.
Right.
All right. For the people out there who can't see my stature, I am 6'3", 310.
Big dude.
I'm a pretty big guy. I'm solid. Rio is probably like what 5'3", a buck 10 maybe.
Right.
I'm not me as a professional. I'm not. I'm sorry. I can't job to that. Only because it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Like, how would he beat me? Like in a sense, like if you
It
like
has to
if
be a
you
gimmick match.
like if you
It
think
can't be a
about
straight up match.
like if you think of, like put it in this perspective for the guys and people in YouTube land and everything, and people who like, oh, but it's about the business. Okay, if it's about the business, it has to make sense. So put it in this perspective. And put me and her in a UFC fight in a cage.
Yeah, you got the point.
Who would it make like? It has to be realistic. That's
Right.
the thing, and that's the thing where most people have to realize in wrestling. Something it has to be realistic. That's why certain people would never become certain things. And I
Yep.
hate to say it that way, but it's just how it is.
Right.
Because to be honest with you, I'm gonna say this: I love the moment. I loved it when Rey Mysterio became the World Heavyweight Champion. Technically, Rey was not supposed to be in that picture.
Right.
That was supposed to be Eddie.
Correct.
But the only reason why Eddie wasn't in it and Ray was because Eddie passed. And they was like, Ray, in honor of Eddie, you go out and do this.
I remember.
So
I
it,
remember going. That was a big deal.
it was a very big deal because if you really pay attention, I think at that, I don't think there has been a WWE Hispanic champion up to that point. World champion. No, I lied. There was one, to my knowledge. And that was Pedro Morales. Way back in the day.
Way back.
Since Pedro Morales, there's really haven't been a Hispanic world champion. Let alone a lot, because Eddie did it right before that. You know?
Right.
So Eddie was Eddie's second time winning the World Heavyweight Championship. Second time. Even Eddie didn't want to do it because he was like, but he was going to do it, but he passed because they was going to set up Eddie and Shawn Michaels.
Oh, that would have been a good one.
That'd been one of the greatest. That probably have been the greatest match of all time to me.
That would have been good right there.
That would have been a 5-star match if I had.
But keeping it lucha on, let's keep it lucha real quick.
Okay, but y'all have to realize certain things have to be realistic. So like the intergender matches, I like the rule of like when you tag in your female partner, she has to fight the female. Makes sense. Can they attack the men? Yes. But to actually like grapple up with them is not realistic because how is she gonna overpower him? Outsmart him. Well, not outsmart. Let me take that back. Most of the time, it's power, speed, technique.
Yep.
And even then, if you even have technique, like Baby Mysterio, he has technique. But he going against people like, I don't know, Brock Lesnar, who also has power and technique. He's just going to overpower his technique.
Yep.
But that's just me.
I feel you. So I guess my next question is, before we get up out of here, do you think Lucha Underground ushered in a new revolution of wrestling? Do you think Lucha Underground revolutionized wrestling like right now? Do you think that anything it changed the landscape? Do you think it opened up any doors, any?
I'll say, I don't think it revolutionized, but it revitalized.
Okay.
It revitalized the lucha style into America on a grand scale.
Right.
Because Because the main promotions that did Lucha on a grander scale was like AAA and CMLL.
Right.
Those two companies are mainly Lucha based.
Yep.
Mainly. So they based, yes, cool. But in America, the only time we seen Lucha at one point that was like popular was during the ECW and WCW days.
Yep.
And that's when who came through? Rey Mysterio,
Right. It's psychosis.
Psychosis, Juventud Guerrero, Super Crazy,
Oh yeah.
Eddie Guerrero, like those guys. But Lucha Underground helped revitalize it in America because the indie scene had those people, but they wasn't being looked at like that.
Right.
When Lucha Underground came in and did it, it like everything that made Lucha Underground helped. Like from the cinematics to the in-ring talent to the characters, like all that stuff. So in hindsight, thanks to Lucha Underground, we have the Pumas, the Pentagons. Well, let me rephrase that: the Ricochets, the Pentagons, the Phoenixes. We have those guys, and now if you look at wrestling now, a lot of people are doing lucha-based stuff now,
Yep.
dive wise.
It gave. We're gonna get up out of it. It gave a lot of those guys. It gave them the opportunity. Like, okay, I'm on TV now. Now my stock went up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I can throw my weight around. Say, I want this much for an industry. I want that much for an industry. I want this. I want that. So it's like, and it's one of them things like, I don't think Lucha Underground can be duplicated. I don't think anything else could come to match that. You would have to like the crowd base that
like everything about it, like the temple, the crowd.
They tried to do it with what is it, MLW. They tried it and it didn't work.
But MLW is different only because you brought all styles together. It's not just one, and that's
Right.
like you got your powerhouses. You got like, and even then in MLW, look at what the talent is doing. They are still doing like some of those guys, like Jacob Fat too. This man doing like split-legged moonsaults. This man is like 350 pounds or more doing split-legged moonsaults. Like
He shouldn't be able to do that. He shouldn't be able to.
But that's
like to see somebody that size, dude. Like it's even crazy when I see Keith Lee jump over the top rope. Like, bro, what?
But that comes from learning lucha, the lucha libre style. Because nowadays you just can't. You can be proficient in one. Like for example, John Moxley is a brawler, straight the fuck out. We know what John Moxley is about. He's a deathmatch type of guy. That's what he does.
Yep.
But he can be technical. He can strike with you. He can do submissions. He can do some lucha stuff. Now in this age of wrestling, you have to learn. You have to know everything, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
It's
not
not
you should do everything because they don't dang near break your neck. I do what is it?
Yeah.
Hurricane Karana and dang near snap your neck in half.
Exactly. But you have to learn. Like now, you have to learn a little bit of everything. You gotta learn the catch wrestling from UK. You gotta learn strong style from Japan. You gotta learn lucha libre from Mexico. You gotta learn how to be technical mat wrestling. You gotta learn how to strike. If you get put in those type of matches where it's a death match, you gotta learn how to deal with that and become a death match.
And I know a lot of people look down on death match wrestling, but that's like an art form for some. That's like an art form. That's like a real like storytelling. Like it ain't a lot of we guys are hitting each other with light tubes, but like it's really like a thing. And I'll talk about that later on another episode. But like deathmatch wrestling is different. Like I don't know, I could do it. It's
not hitting no damn light tubes, bro. I'm sorry.
It's thumbtacks, like nah.
I can do a thumbtack too. I can do a thumbtack.
But light tube, like they get
light tubes. Man, if you go to CCW, like CCW, like the old CCW, bro, dude use a weed whacker.
Dude, Nick Gage He had the white Bulls jersey away. Well, the white is the home, right? Or the white
Yeah,
jersey.
white is home. Array is
He had
orange.
the home jersey. And it was an away jersey when he left. And this idiot wanted to finish the match. Like, put me back. Like, dude,
You talking about when he was bleeding
yeah,
out?
yeah, he literally died in a death match. They like brought him back, like, dude, on Dark Side of the Ring. Mox like, you literally died in a death match. Like, but that's a different topic, man. Tell everybody on social media how you can follow my boy.
All right, y'all can find me at Instagram, Rain_Kingpin. That's REIGN underscore KINGPIN.
Right on. Like always, I will see y'all next Friday with another episode. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna get on here. Like like I said in the comments, let me know if y'all feel like Lucha Underground was ahead of its time or not. And let me know how y'all feel. Share the video to the rest of the community. And like always, thank you for tuning in. And we out of here. Peace.